Dan Does Footy production, a program created by two unique individuals with no credibility, talent, or critical thinking skills. They're here to call it as they see it. They're going to exchange ideas, thoughts, and even their energy. They're not always going to get it right, and most times you're not going to agree with them. But that's okay, because just like you, they care. Embrace the chaos, and let's do footy together.
Here we go. Round 0. We're on the eve of it. You can hear that. What's that? Round 0 knocking on our doors. Exciting times around Australia. No matter who you go for, we're all at the start line in the same position. Even ground. We don't know who's good. We don't know who stinks, who's a fraud, who's going to be a flag favourite until the next couple of months where it'll all just unfold the way that it should. A big weekend across the football landscape. A lot of injuries, mayhem, random stuff that happened. Found ourselves in the crosshair of a fight that I didn't see coming. The man at the centre of it, at the very epicenter, is our very own real deal, Ollie Gill.
Real veal, I think they're calling me now.
How was your weekend? Obviously, you've been through it.
Yeah, I have.
In the media.
It was, I think you're correct. I think the overwhelming feeling wasn't on the bingo card.
No.
It's pretty clear to me, they're clutching at straws if they're coming after me. But yeah, you're right. Kane Corns, David King have had 2 swipes at me now. The first was Friday morning, I think. I woke up and someone said, oh my God, the best ever to wear number 18 for Port Adelaide has had a go at you. And I thought, Jesus, what's Jimmy Toompa said? And I found out
Jimmy's a loud mouth.
Yeah, I went, Jimmy. Then I found out it was Kane.
Wow. Okay, so I'm the same. I woke up and the inbox blew up. It's like, Kane's gone to Ollie. Something's happened. I was like, what has happened to you? I heard it and said, oh boy, I'm going to text you right away. I think you were sleeping in still. Yeah. And then an hour later you called on and you said, whoa, what is happening in my world? Rocked. So should we go step by step through it for those who don't know what's happening?
I think that's a really good idea.
So this is Kane first, is it?
This is Kane first.
Out of nowhere.
On Friday.
Blindside.
I couldn't believe it. St Kilda posted to their socials with the first line locked in with a padlock and a signature. And I thought, oh my goodness, Nasai Wanganeen-Miller has re-signed, or one of the big guns has re-signed. Ross Lyon might have extended his contract, but they then went on to reveal that Ollie Gill is back for another season. And you think, well, who's Ollie Gill? Never heard of him before. Well, he's their game day MC.
He's what?
St Kilda have released
He's what?
a big statement with an image of Ollie Gill with his signature, and he's locked in. So they have announced, look, the Saints are looking for any sort of little tiny information of good news that they have released that their game day MC, I'm telling you, it's on their socials.
Really?
Ollie Gill signs on as the Saints MC. And I thought, what are we doing? What have we got to the point where we need any sort of public statement? Or what's next?
Important.
Like the boot starter has signed on. The boot starter's back.
Very
the physio
important as well.
Of course they're very important. And
Yeah.
Ollie is very important. He gets the energy up on game day. But do we need to be announcing that the game day MC has signed on at the Saints?
Now.
So yeah,
Yeah.
a few thoughts, obviously, that came to mind. Didn't know who I was, which is fair enough. That's fine. I didn't play 300 games.
No.
I understand that. Yes, I've had a
0
career
games.
here. Well, true. I've had a career before DDF, podcast with Mark Schwarzer,
True.
an international TV show.
Big.
So, that hurt, but I think the overwhelming feeling was, geez, they just don't get it, do they?
No.
Like, it was a giant piss take from start to finish, but that's okay.
And then you replied.
I did.
I'm sitting back going, you know what? Someone just catch me in a crosshair.
Yeah.
I'm begging to get caught here.
Yeah.
No one did.
Yeah, and the thing is, because that doesn't give you anxiety.
No.
You love it, especially on weekends.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a bit of a shame for you.
Yeah, I was ready to go.
So I responded. I'll play a little bit of it for those who might have missed, but it was in the style of when Kane found out that Ken was getting the sack after the year, and there was a plan in place for Josh Carr, and he did his video topless
On his run.
on
after
his
a
run. So I did a similar thing. Well, excuse me for not having a shirt on. I just finished a run here in Melbourne. It's about 17 degrees.
Got a muscle suit on.
I checked my phone. I had about 15 messages from everyone telling me about what Graham. What Kane said about me on radio. Well, my initial thoughts, obviously that goes out the window for any nice thing I was going to say to him throughout the year. I mean, him saying he doesn't know who I am, I find pretty inconceivable. He clearly hasn't seen quarter-time Red Rooster activations, and clearly it shows, because here's the thing, Kane. It was a joke. We were telling a joke, but that's okay, mate. I know you just quite simply couldn't understand in 2025 that we could have some fun. But look, anyway, you can expect an official Olkaneo on the show tomorrow, but I just thought I'd jump on here and thank everyone that's reached out over the last couple of days. And Kane, look, I don't really want to ever have to go back on your Instagram and see you without a shirt on ever again, so just to make sure you're not caught without one. I've got a Saints Stealth Man that we wore against Port Adelaide on the weekend. More than happy to sign it for you, mate. Send that one to your house in Adelaide or to the station.
Wow. Okay. So where's it at now?
So
Where are we?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's been so good for my wallet this weekend because now I don't have to pay rent because I'm living in their heads just totally rent-free, which has been huge because I thought, someone, between the two of them, again, they've won 3 premierships over 500, 600 games between them. The fact that they felt the need to bravely bring it up again before 7 o'clock in the morning on a Monday when most of the people aren't listening.
They haven't gone again, have they?
They've gone again.
Oh, my God. Let's just let it. Someone please catch me. I want to stray. Why am I not involved in this?
Okay, so this was their response.
Asking so much more. No, but that wasn't even. The game was just a side issue.
Sideshow, yeah.
Ollie Gill, your man. He was the talk of the town, how he was going to come back at you.
Oh, my God, what is happening?
So for those that missed it, on Friday, Dumb Shies, and we have the segment, Dumb Shies, and I've heard this week, and I just put the Saints in it because they released this stupid sort of...
Still thinking about it?
Graphic
Still
of
thinking
their
about
ground announcer who had recommitted to the club.
That's right.
And I thought, well, what's next? The boot starter, the masseuse,
That'd be
the
good.
doc's recommitted, awesome.
Announcement
Didn't he
coming.
run with it? Haven't we made him famous?
Well, I don't know if you made him famous, but he did the walk and talk.
Very good.
Shocked me a little bit. He had like a sort of a funny shirt on that was.
Muscle suit costs a lot of money.
chest.
Yes.
Why doesn't he just use his chest?
Well, because he mustn't be that confident with
But
the setup.
doesn't
Well,
matter.
I know, get it off.
Get it off. The people are not committing. That's really disappointing me. And his commentary was quite funny in that, though, wasn't it? Don't you know who I am? That I'm the quarter-time Red
Didn't say
Rooster
it like that.
activationist.
Activationist,
I
not a
loved
word.
it. I loved it. I thought it was very good.
No, it's me.
So he could have
Now,
ended it
I
there.
wasn't unaware. You were telling me before he's
Why?
part of the Daniel Gorringe.
Dan Does Footy, which
Oh, no, here we go.
is the number one,
Stray.
I believe, sports podcast
Well,
in the
whatever.
country at the
It's not a
moment.
big deal.
Is that right?
The number one. Now, I think we're...
He's
at a-
very
Catch
entertaining,
me.
Dan.
No,
Thank
he's
you.
awesome.
Insult
he's,
me.
He's carved out a brilliant niche for himself.
Serve me,
and
please.
Does it in a different way that no one has done it. Very self-deprecating.
Get me
and
involved.
Has a huge following.
Call
Got
me a
my
big,
kids
tall
a lot.
fucking idiot.
So anyone sort of under 25,
Yeah.
follow,
Come on.
absolutely
Hit
love
me.
him. So he's been brilliant. I think we're at about number 11 on the podcast ranker.
Yep.
So
11?
Yeah. So we'll try and push up
Jeez,
the
that's a bit low.
push because Ollie pointed that out.
Did he?
Yep, on his socials. that
Because
they're-
he's on
they're-
there with him.
Well, I don't know.
He
if-
thinks that
I
he's
don't know.
the reason, does he?
I don't know if he's the reason they're number
Mate.
one, but he's a part of the team.
Ollie, he's more like Lockie Veal. He's more like the veal deal. He's more like the steak
Oh,
knife.
again.
No
Why,
one's
Kiki?
tuning in for Ollie. They're going for Dan.
Kiki.
I would have
Take
thought.
credit for
I
it.
would have thought so.
What's he talking
I
about?
don't-
And he's going to fire back at you. Oh, my God. I saw another walk and talk.
Wow. So they've gone again. Wow. Still yet to catch a stray. I'm not involved in this at all. I'm getting compliments. You're
You
getting
did-
attacked. Why are you getting attacked? I'm getting compliments.
Okay, so it's not about me right now before I officially wrap this up. But how do you feel about that? So he said there, Kingy really found his voice.
Yeah.
He's had the weekend to think about it.
Yeah.
Obviously saw my work at RSCA Park on Saturday. And he said, no one tunes in for me.
Yeah.
I'm taking the credit.
Yeah.
I'm Lockie Veal.
That's, yeah, you know what? You come for one, you come for all.
Yeah, and that I'm the steak knives, not the steak.
But yeah, okay, so we're happy here. You're leaving it where it is?
Well,
We're happy?
I was going to, prepare a proper Olkaneo, but I think that it speaks for itself, obviously, as I said, clearly in the head, rent-free. I mean, I'm surprised I got through that last bit with Kingy because normally when his voice comes on, I get quite tired
Oh my
because I'm
God.
always napping
Oh
during the
my
4:40
God.
slot
This is the
on a
war.
Sunday. So it was good to get through that. But look, it just blows me away. I think they probably need to let it go, let us move on. We're the young ones now.
True. Well done.
But it's
I'm
good
ready to
see-
fire, but I'm
yeah.
just waiting for someone to catch me.
Well, I'm just ready for gather round now.
True.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
a lot of people, asking for Gill v Corns.
Yeah. Versus Crows fans. Triple threat match.
Well, you know what? The Crows media have never done this. I'm a big fan of, Mark Bickley. Maybe I'm starting to change my tune.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you reckon Crows fans be behind you? They stand with you?
I'd like to think now it's swapping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm more than happy to jump on the Fruit Tingles.
Yeah.
If they're ready to back me, I'm ready to back them.
Go to war.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone's the weapons down or the weapons still in the pockets ready to go?
I think it's going to be one of those things like, when security have fake arms.
Yeah.
Because their real arm has a gun
You like that?
through the
You're just ready to
jacket.
fire again.
I'm ready to fire,
Okay.
but I am tools down
Okay.
visually.
We all just need to... Do you want to try saying something positive about them? Will that help it or not? Maybe they'll say something positive about you.
Yeah, I can try and think. Well, all right, I'll say one thing.
That you like about them.
Okay, well, I'll even compliment them even more.
Nice.
In the sense that they have got the last laugh
Yes.
because I followed Kane, didn't follow me back. And then I had so much anxiety about it, I unfollowed him. So I'll give him that.
You got to DM
He
him.
won the follow war.
You got to message him.
No, he's too much of a coward. He's turned, like you can't tag him,
can't ya?
can't message him, so...
All happening. So big weekend. Meanwhile, I've got no idea what's going on. I'm just letting this I'm seeing it fly past my eyes in real time. Going, tap me in. I'm ready to go. Someone tap me. I was like when I was on the sidelines when you're not in the game yet. You're on the bench. You've been named on the bench, but you're just doing the warm up on the sidelines in front of the coach, sprinting, zigzagging.
Jeez, I'm
Jeez, I
feeling
feel good.
Yeah.
Just ready to get called in. Didn't get called in. So
Could have backed me up more, but that's all right. If you backed me up, then maybe you would have got a stray. But
true.
I do. Can't believe you got complimented out of
Yeah,
the
I
whole
know.
thing. But
Big
anyway.
weekend for you, mate. Big weekend. Big weekend around the league. Quick preseason update on the games that mean absolutely nothing, but we have to, I guess, touch on them to see,
Of course.
and know what happened. Richmond, they look even more unlikely to win a game after losing to Collingwood by 83 points. Dogs gave the business to the Hawks by 11 points. Sam Davidson, pick 51 for the Dogs in the draft last year. He looks like a likely type. 29 touches, a goal. Maybe coming from the clouds for a round one spot. Bont is out, which we'll speak about later.
true,
So
yeah.
he had a good game. Flag Crom's a real thing. Fruit Tingles,
yeah,
your
big
team
time.
now.
Oh, I love them.
All about them. They beat Brisbane by 3 points. Sydney by 21 over the Suns. The Suns, New Guernsey. Got a first look at it in real time.
Thoughts?
Through broadcast. Can't see shit.
No.
That's a red Guernsey. That's what I see.
We were worried about
We were
that.
worried about that. Our greatest fears are now in front of us. We can't see that logo at all. So a bunch of red guys just running around the field. Port, they took 2 forks at skill to fans' eyes and just stuck them in there. That was brutal. We'll touch on that later as well. 56-point winners. Eagles out at Hands Oval. Is it Hands Oval? in
Hands
Bunbury?
Oval.
Hands Oval. 2-point winners over North. North. I came to this conclusion on the weekend, which I think it's maybe people feel the same. But Harry Sheasel is just Nick Dacos, but in blue and white.
Oh, I like that.
They're exactly the same.
Yeah.
If Harry Sheasel played for Collingwood, we'd be like, okay, that's just Nick Dacos.
Yeah. He's he's the definition of a footy head. Don't you reckon?
He loves
Like,
footy.
I've seen a video of him where he took on like a North fan for North trivia.
Yeah.
And he knows everything. Like he's just gone, right, so who do I play for? North, right, I'm going to get stuck. I'm going to know everything about this
He
joint.
loves his footy. I think if you plugged him into Nick Dacos' role at Collingwood, you'd have the exact same results. Wow. He'd win a Brownlow at Collingwood.
Before Nick would.
Well, no, if he was the Nick Dacos of
Yeah.
that team, which you could replace him with, if Harry Sheasel played for Collingwood, he would win a Brownlow.
Jesus.
But he
Would
plays
that be
for
the
North.
same for any other team, virtually? Like, do you reckon any top 8 team he'd win a Brownlow?
He'd be closer than what he's at North at the moment.
Of course.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
Such as he loves his footy. I saw something on socials during the week about his recovery. He does like every hyperbaric chamber, like ice baths, like everything you could imagine. He's doing that and loves it as well. He's got the whoop band on. Whoop whoop.
Oh yeah.
He's
What
got
does that
stuff on.
do?
I think it tracks your sleep and like your moods and all that. I think it's like a mood ring.
Your moods. Tracks your
It's a
moods.
genuine mood ring. I want the players to start wearing mood rings.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I used to just be a sucker for a mood ring.
Oh,
Remember that?
Going to What's New and buy one of those. Oh.
It'd be like aqua in the little ring stand when you go to the market and you put it on. It's like black. It's like, I'm angry, mum. you don't want to fuck with me when it's black. Okay, that's angry.
Bring the mood rings back.
Yeah, bring those back. Freo, they beat Melbourne the last game of the preseason with their Demon Head Guernsey on the D. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Big flary demon.
Thoughts?
Liked it.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Yep.
Bring it right back.
Did remind me of pretty negative times for the club though, like when they weren't at their best.
Yeah.
Like that's where I visualised that from.
Okay.
But that's okay.
They look good.
As long as it looks good.
Clary and Track back, we think. They had a big game together. I think they had like combined for 60 disposals and whatever. Back on their bullshit. And obviously we saw Bolton as well for Freo. They're ready to roll. Tat watch quickly.
Yep.
A big one we saw during, I think maybe the day we dropped the second ep last week. Sam Closey.
Mm-hmm. What's he got?
Rocking with, I think it's like not really sure how to describe it. A few squiggly lines, like a face and like a koi fish on the shoulder. And then friend of the show, he said, yeah, I'm not done yet. And I said, okay.
You sure?
I think you're not getting the concept of the Tat watch.
Yeah.
So he might go full sleeve by the end of the season.
Jeepers, okay.
Yeah, you have to fill it out. And everyone keeps saying Jordan Dawson has something which I don't know what that is yet.
No, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
And without going too far into details, we did hear from another friend of the show about a tap watch last week. You were telling me that Paps replied
Yes.
because
We spoke about
that he said what it is.
that. Yeah, they were on a trip, weren't they? Didn't we speak about this?
No, I didn't speak about
Didn't
it.
we?
No, just in the office because we've got an office because we're a legit,
Oh, well, perhaps you reply because we thought there was an arrow pointing into the hog.
Yeah.
And we obviously came to the pod and said we need to find out what this thing is. This guy just got like arrows pointing into his piece.
Yeah.
Just to let people know.
Yeah.
And no, he's like, no, I went to Europe with my
Yeah.
friends and we all got this tattoo and it's like a
Brain, was it?
brain.
Yeah.
A brain with like, I don't know, Europe 24 and 23. So yeah,
Okay.
not a directional piece to the,
No.
meat and potatoes, but which we thought it was.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of people listening to Tat Watch. People
Yeah.
know.
And I've
It's
got a
new
lot
phrase.
of respect for the players who come in and just confirm what
Their
it is.
tattoos. Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
big. Yeah, it is big. So footy's here. It's exciting times. Round 0. I'm absolutely pumped. I don't really like that half the teams aren't playing.
No.
Would love for collectively all the teams to be playing this weekend, but we've got some games. Going to
What?
dip the toes in.
I think as a footy fan, that's the thing. We might not like round 0,
But we'll watch it.
but when it's here, it's like, oh, all right then.
We'll watch it. I mean, you will watch it if you're paying for it. I think there's a lot of fans who haven't really caught on that there's no free-to-air footy on Saturday.
No.
So if you're thinking you're going to tuck into some football on Saturday, Arvo, on the couch, tuck in some beers, have them barking at you, you're probably watching Better Homes and Gardens. Like, that's not going to happen for you.
That's true. I might actually see what's on the TV.
Yeah. So I think if you're listening to this now and you haven't sorted yourself out for, a subscription somewhere to watch the football, and I know the economy, mate, it's bloody tough out there.
Oh.
Economy, in this day and age, paying for stuff, geez. But if you're not, then there's no football for you on a Saturday.
No.
So you'll be watching, I assume, what's on, Ollie? On 7.
It's just horse racing all day.
Great. Just a bunch of horses running around.
Yep.
Bunch of horses.
And the morning show if you're really keen.
That's big.
And then the news. So
Yeah, cool.
Better Homes and Gardens on 7-2.
That's big. No matter what you're doing, it's easier in mongrels. Whether you're at the pub, playing footy, going to footy, watching the footy, going to the supermarket, it's always easier in mongrels, as I said. Mongrel boots, these ones on my feet, are engineered with advanced technology and built tough. Like you and me. Tough like you this weekend.
That's true.
Very
I bounced
tough.
back
Mentally
because
tough.
of the boots.
Including features like scuff cap protection, a tough side of sole for enhanced stability, roller sole technology, increasing comfort and safety, and the Air Zone comfort system to reduce fatigue, ensuring maximum comfort. So, if you want boots like these, the Mongrel Boots, head to mongrelboots.com.au to find your favourite boot and local retailer. So, as we said, footy is coming. It's here. We're days away. What are we? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days away.
3 days.
3 days. Might not be getting it in 3 days. Might not. Just hold the phone here. Brisbane is on flood watch. The whole city might be underwater. There is the weather gods coming down and saying, you know what, we hate round 0 too. Armageddon about to hit Brisbane. This is the official statement released by Mitch Cleary, who's working hard. He's breaking everything at the moment. He tweeted, Brisbane and the AFL are working with the Queensland government and local authorities over plans for Thursday night's Gabba season opener. Currently a watching brief. Don't know what that means. 300, this is absolutely cooked, 300 to 600 millimetres of rain and 130 kilometre winds forecast over Wednesday, Thursday as Cyclone Alfred nears. This season is so weird already.
Yeah.
We've got meat and potatoes, we've got injuries, and now we've got Cyclone Alfred hitting the Gabba. So we've got, to kick things off, you might not have Brisbane and Geelong, but you have Alfred versus the AFL.
Oh, definitely we'll get
And
that.
that's for 4 points for sure. So there's 2 plans in place for this.
Okay.
The AFL has said that they either don't play on Thursday night,
Okay.
and they move the game to round 3, which is supposed to be Brisbane and Geelong's bye for playing in round 0.
Sure.
So move that to round 3, or they move the game to Geelong. And we've also got sources saying to us that the MCG staff are just getting the Loud House ready. Just in case the AFL says, you know what? Time for some more money in the buckets.
Just put a few extra pies in the freezer just in case.
So we'll have Brisbane, we'll either have the game underwater,
Yeah.
we'll either have it in Geelong, postponed to round 3, or the Loud House is erupting to kick things off.
Okay. If you're the AFL, what's your preference here?
Well, you want to make the money.
You want to make the money, but it takes the piss quite
Show
heavily
me
out
the
of
money.
opening round if we put it back to Melbourne.
It does, but Cyclone Alfred doesn't care about your schedule.
That's
or
true.
your money.
What's the... So, I'm not very good with numbers. 600 millimetres. What would that be? Of rain?
60 centimetres.
So, yeah,
100
right.
centimetres a metre, so almost,
So
half a metre.
2 rulers.
It'd be up to, so say I'm 2 metres, up to my hip is a metre.
Yeah.
So it's about knee height.
That's...
I mean, it's playable. I mean, it is playable.
It's a winter sport.
You know what you're signing up for, especially in Queensland, very tropical. But I for one, I'm keen to see the game get played. I'm keen to see
In Brisbane?
Yep, I'm keen to see a fullback get the ball and have a kick out through the goals at the other end. I'm keen to see literally Harris Andrews get a kick at the back pocket and have a set shot. That's what I'm all for.
130-kilometre wins is probably the more
I'm all for
damaging
it.
thing here rather than the wet.
Literally every kick on the field, if you have the win in your back, you're having a shot on goal. How good would that be to see?
That would be good.
Just Zorko flying off halfback having a shot.
Jeez, I tell you what, the one thing we know, the coin toss is very important in this game.
You'll lose the coin. Flick it up, the coin will piss off. You're like, oh shit. Yeah, get the ball, let the boys play. Give them some floaties, a blow up boat each, and get them out there, I reckon. Now, Brisbane have told the AFL that they're keen, if they had a preference, they're taking, options and votes. They said, we want to move this thing to round 3. We don't want to play it here.
Because they've got to unfurl the flag.
Well, that's the thing. They do have to do that. So,
And you don't want to do that at the GMHBA,
no.
or even on the Gold Coast.
And just with that as well, they're supposed to do it now. I doubt they're going to do it in the rain. You wouldn't do it in the rain, would you? In front of your fans? You're still going to ask fans to come and say, hey, on this gloomy day where we're all underwater, just your neck's literally just above water as you watch the game.
Here's a flag.
And have a beer, have a stone of wood crafty beer going down your neck. Are you still going to get the flag out and say, well done, guys?
Well, you run the risk of it, not even being able to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
be
so
windy
I
everywhere.
think you'd
not
leave
ideal. Not ideal. I love how this obviously was locked in to unfurl the flag for the Lions and the fans, the players and the Cold Club. They invite Joe down to her. Mm-hmm. Big part of it. And Joe says, you know what? I actually can't make it. I've got another event I've got to go to. Joe's in Byron, just sitting on the couch drinking a beer while the boys are just drowning at the Gabba. He doesn't give a shit.
You just know he is, because also just keep in mind, Thursday night, Close Counters is performing at the Beach Hotel.
Big band.
And I think you get it's like $40, you get like a t-shirt and a jug of Stone and Wood. So
That's good.
He's there.
Yeah.
And there's also I'm having a look at events Byron Bay Thursday, also the Farmers Market. So
Huge. I love that. He just doesn't care about football at all.
Nope.
Just declining the unfurling of the flag to be like, you know what, I'm just not going to be there at all. No, and was in the doco as well. They did a doco that came out in Brisbane. Can't remember what it's called. It's got a title, but they do one every time the team wins a flag. They all watch it together, like a watch party.
Oh, nice.
And goes on Fox Footy or whatever. The Pies did one, Brisbane did one as well. And he's like, I'm just not going to be in that. No, thank you. I don't want to be. I want nothing to do with football. I hate it that much.
He's more like Dusty than I think we realise. Like,
it's a guy that hates football.
we were focusing so much on one guy never wanting to speak, but Joe really
hates football.
isn't into it.
Hates it. So, and even the Gold Coast now, they're connected to Brisbane sort of by highway. Like they've got some serious issues about maybe their game. They on flood watch as well. The Wiggles are getting cancelled. Big news coming to the Gold Coast.
Huge.
Opening round, big crowd. They say, you know what? They need a big entertainer. Getting the Wiggles. Interesting. The Wiggles to kick your season off.
Okay, so you're now a father.
Yeah.
If hypothetically you took Poppy to a game and she's got the earmuffs on, all the rest of it, I feel like you're more concerned dealing with entertainment for kids 10 and over.
Yeah.
Rather than, I don't know.
Mate, Poppy's got nothing going on behind the eyes. She's lovely, she's great, but she's not knowing the Wiggles are there.
No.
She's just keen for some. If the Wiggles have breast milk on them,
sure, then
she's on.
Yeah, okay, sure.
They got breast milk, then she's keen for that. But I've never seen a Wiggle just breastfeed a baby mid-performance.
Yet.
Not yet. Could be first.
I just want to say on the weather as well, just being Tasmanian, so much talk about the concern about the weather down there. We need to have a roof. It's a
They're
must.
getting a roof, aren't they?
Yeah, but that was part of it. You have to. We couldn't possibly play games down in Tassie without a roof. Thursday is going to be 17 and sunny in Hobart. So just for context,
That's great.
if we're that concerned about the weather and
We can move
players
it.
playing
Yeah.
down there, just know it's 17 on Thursday and sunny.
Yep.
And we've got 600 millimetres of rain in
Brisbane.
Queensland. So, like, that's just where I'm at.
I think they were going to put a roof on that new stadium. Now they're saying we don't have the budget for it.
No.
No, a glass roof they wanted. That's so expensive.
It would be pretty cool.
It'd be so cool, but it's just so over budget and unnecessary. It's like, no.
And you've also probably going to run the risk of the Cowboys Stadium. Have you seen the issue there? One
in
end,
America, NFL.
yeah.
Oh, the sun pierced through. Well, I mean, a sunroof would be like a magnifying glass. So
Yeah.
a 17-degree day inside the stadium is like 45 degrees.
That's true.
The two teams in the crowd are just boiling hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe it's a good idea.
Got to engineer that, make that better. But as we said, yeah, Queensland and football is just not. It's not a good mix at the moment up there. So they are saying the Essendon and Gold Coast game, because the people's first choice Metricon Stadium is like built on a river, that it floods very easily.
Sure.
So water could be just, I know drainage is good, but water could be just everywhere and unable to play. So we've got both Queensland games in absolute all sorts.
So where's the Cyclone goes from what days? Like, will it be on? Because their game's Saturday.
They reckon it's going to be Wednesday through to Thursday, Friday. That's Alfred's going to run wild up there.
Okay, so they might be, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and even if they're trying to say they do come to the Loud House and say, let's just play the MCG, like just to be safe, we still get a game in, because the AFL has so broadcast deals, sponsorships, like corporate events, ticketing, so much money's attached to Alfred and the Cyclone and the Gabba. So they still probably want to get some money in. Like, it's a big loss for the AFL. So just say they say, you know what, let's get to the MCG. We'll play it there, both teams. We'll tell Geelong on a latest, they have to tell them probably Tuesday night, Wednesday morning for a Thursday game.
Well, everything, but here's the thing: their flights would have been booked, their accommodation would have been booked.
Well, exactly. So they have to come to a decision soon.
Yeah.
So the AFL wants to get it done. Say they say, hey, Brisbane, you need to get on a flight. Get out of here. Come to the MCG.
Yep.
Fuck getting on that flight. With Alfred running wild? Absolutely not. Turbulence would be horrible.
That's true.
I'm not flying through a cyclone. You kidding? No, thank you.
That's true.
Even Geelong flying into it. You're flying into the storm.
Great point.
No, thank you. I'd be saying I'm getting a Greyhound bus.
Yeah.
I'll see you boys in 3 days.
Yeah, we're going to leave now,
No,
but other
thank
than
you.
that.
But it's just like, I think it's a nightmare for the AFL. Even if they do go ahead, it's going to be wet and grim and gross. Brisbane, they made this round to take over NRL territory, and now they're copping this. So I still think the boys, or the AFL say, boys, floaties on, get out there.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit
No.
about some rain. So get your snorkel and piss off. A lot of injuries for boys who aren't playing this week. Have an extra week, obviously, to recover and get right. But, geez, mayhem over the weekend. Get the bubble wrap up and wrap them up to the neck. And even scrap the preseason. I think there's a conversation now to just scrap it. With the amount of injuries we're having to key players, big players. We had 128 players in the injury list last week we came. There'd be 150 on it right now.
Yeah.
Just crazy. The first one that came through, first quarter of the Dogs-Hawks game in Tassie last Friday, Bont walks off. We're told, you know what, it's not that bad. Just a precaution. He's a bit tight in the calf. Doggies fans, okay, if that's what you're telling us, we'll accept it. That's all we have to go off. Anyway, a day later, news breaks, notifications on phones. Doggies fans' knees just shaking. What's going to happen? I'm going to fall to it and break him, or I'm going to stand up, lock him out. Bontempelli out for 6 weeks with a calf injury. A complex issue with tendon damage. This is what the Dogs released. Unfortunately, the structure involved with this particular injury are prone to having recurrent issues, so we'll need to follow a conservative management timeline to give Marcus the best chance of a successful season. The one guy the Dogs cannot afford to lose, and they've lost a lot this preseason already, is your captain for 6 weeks with tendon as well. So not a calf issue, calf tendon, which is way worse.
Okay.
Horrible.
Why is that? What's the
Because,
science behind that?
I mean, I'm not a doctor at all, but there's...
No, hey, come on.
I've done a calf before, so I am qualified to speak on this.
Yeah.
When you do tendon, it's like the bigger one to do in the calf.
Okay.
And there's 3 muscles in the calf.
Yeah.
If you do tendon damage, it's a longer recovery. But just because so much weight goes through your calf.
That's
so
true.
you can do a calf strain, but if you do a tendon damage, then that's the one that's hard to come back from. Because there's so much rehab. You can't do much for 2 weeks. Then you do strength training. Then you do load training. Like, so much goes through your calf. So for him as well, your best player, captain, the guy you put all the weight on his shoulders, you're not rushing him back in 6 weeks.
No.
At all. So, and now they've got a list that is just an injury list, which is just deep. And they have to dig deep onto the list to find a way out of this.
Yeah.
Treloar, out. Ugelhagen, who knows where he is. Liam Jones, out. Bont out, Waitman out, Richards and Bailey Dale tests.
Well, they're your big. They're the ones.
They're your movers.
Yeah.
They're your primary movers. All out. Doggies fans going through it.
Tell you what, Doggies fans can also start to understand what you went through with Jagger, because I think the staff need to just calm down on the whole. Not to worry, guys. It was just a precaution, and then it turns out to be the worst case scenario.
Literally. Well, even the Zach Butters thing last week. We told Keyhole. Now he's out for 6 weeks. Horrible. Just tell it. I'd rather you say he's out for the year and he's out for a month.
Yeah, that's true.
Give me the worst possible result as a fan, and then bring it in from there.
Yeah.
No, he's going to retire.
Yeah.
Actually, let believe this. He's back in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll take that as a fan. And then the next night, sitting back, watching TV, beer barking, more carnage. First quarter, Errol Goulden breaks an ankle. Now, it looked bad straight. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it?
Not live, but...
It looked bad. Even the live or replays. Caught under him, under a play. I don't know who tackled him. But, geez, the ankle snaps. A lot of people said, again, the doctor was like, yeah, it looked bad. Maybe syndesmosis. I was like, okay, you stop saying this stuff.
Yeah, you're just making things up.
Because you take syndesmosis, breaks an ankle, which is the worst case.
Yeah.
Obviously. Syndesmosis was 6 weeks, so Swans fans are probably going, oh, that's okay. A broken ankle now with no timeline to return. So, what's a broken ankle? Half a year?
Well, put it this way, it's the one thing in the body I wouldn't want to break.
No.
As a cardio-based sport.
Neck?
Okay, well, neck,
back,
spine, hip, all of those. But you're going to need an ankle.
You definitely
you can't be running out there with a broken ankle.
No.
So, I don't know. Is that a year? I've got no idea.
Who'll get back? It depends if they're putting pins and stuff in it. We don't know the extent of what they're doing. The statement that they released was very short. It was like, he's set for surgery. 3-sentence statement, which is always concerning.
That's concerning, but as we were talking about, maybe that's a good thing for the fans. Just say, look, he's going for surgery. We'll let you know later.
He's lost his leg.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, he got caught under him. He lost a leg.
Leg.
We're trying to find it. We'll come back with more news soon.
Yeah.
That's what you want. But the big out for the Swans, because he's their guy, their ball movement guy, especially on the small SCG ground, the guy that gets them going from half back to half forward. Big out for them. And Big Cox did not need that in his first season.
Nope.
Sweaty Cox up there was sweating buckets. Maybe it was the second 2K that put the stress to the ankle. We don't want to play. We don't point fingers here, but making the boys do 2Ks.
All you're doing, Daniel, is just stating the facts.
Yes.
And that he's broken an ankle and they did 2Ks.
And that is fact.
And that's just a fact.
But we know something about Sydney. They have a list full of Charlie Horsewaters.
That's true.
They're going to pluck a Charlie Horsewater from somewhere who'll be an All-Australian this year.
That's true.
We know that there's some just rogue academy kid they've got that we have no idea who he is. And he'll be, 3 votes every game.
Yep.
So that's good for them. Oh, no. And one more injury I just saw here. Mitch Owens also gets hurt. A shoulder injury against Port on the weekend. How was that game? Obviously, first
it was
game.
awesome, Dan. Yeah.
So as we said, a lot in your weekend. First game off the back of a fresh contract. You've got the heat from Kano.
Yeah.
Now you've got Mitch Owens. You've got St Kilda just lodging forks and sticks in their own fans' eyes with the performance. 1 point in the first quarter.
Yeah,
Run
first half in particular, but yeah, the first quarter was not it. Such a shame because it was a great atmosphere down there. It was like it's like great country footy, like in a ground like that. I don't know how many people, maybe 8,000 people, but you've got tins on the hill, and it's like it was
all happening.
It was good vibe. But yeah, it just didn't show up for the first half. It was bizarre, but that that hurts, and also Cooper Sharman as well. I think he broke his thumb, so you're looking at it now. Without a Tim Memory and Kingy's not good for the moment, that forward line is looking very small as well. Like, there's a lot of pressure on Butler and Higgins
to be a power forward.
Yeah, like, that's kind of where we're looking for the time being, because even when Memory wasn't playing or King wasn't playing, Sharman in particular was always really busy airily in the air.
Yeah. He was presence.
The massive presence, and Mitch Owens was pretty much good for 2 games. So, Caminiti, it's on him now, really, for the time being.
Jeez, hopefully he's done shoulder press in the gym. That's a lot of weight to have on the shoulders.
Yeah, it is. It was a good day. The Stealth Man Guernseys, though, were probably the big highlight.
They were great.
Yeah.
Are they going to run in the season or not?
I think so. I will say this, can't give too much away. Just watch out for Gather Round. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
I have seen a couple of things.
Candy?
No. We haven't worn this. Yeah, it's a fresh
new one.
Yeah, get excited, Saints fans.
Wow.
That's all I'll say.
A Chinese takeaway on the Guernsey with the fork sticks, just very present.
Ready to go. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
So how are you feeling then? I know everyone says it's only pre-season, but it's all we've got to go off. How are you feeling, honestly, as a Saints fan, knowing that you dished that up as your last serving of, treats to your fans before the main dish is coming out?
Well, I think very much like my approach to Kingy and Corns, I'm weapons down, but I'm definitely weapons nearby. So when you look at it, I think we're pretty bloody good against Carlton, to be honest. On your deck, I think we really showed up, and I think that, if that's a sign of things to come, especially with the players that we haven't seen a lot of, well, then I think we can get quite excited. On the flip side, like that game wasn't good enough.
No.
So you go, okay, maybe we sit in sort of no man's land right now.
Alert but not alarmed.
Yeah.
Very much alert.
Yep.
To what's going on.
Yep.
So how'd you go again at quarter time? I guess it was 39-1. How was your energy coming out for the Red Rooster?
So I was rattled. We did have an activation. I think it was RSCA. So, there was a bit of fun and games to be had. It was a little bit awkward. There was a hell of a lot going on.
Not a good day down there.
No, well, and the trains were down, so everyone had to catch buses out to Moorabbin. Oh, it was all
Disaster.
Anyway.
Up on the Gold Coast again, this story broke during the week. Damien Hardwick's partner is now working the Suns, and other clubs are not happy about it. There's soft cap issues. We heard about the stuff with Chris Scott taking a part-time role at Morris Finance.
Yep.
We called them.
He was
working. We checked, and now Dimmer's partner, Alexander Crowe, has begun her role as a consultant on the club's consumer and commercial strategy projects, with reports that other clubs are asking the league on whether her wage is included in the club's soft cap. Restrictions on football department spending have tightened in recent times and has played a part in the questions posed to the league on her hiring. Each club has a soft cap of 7.7, with 20% of the seniors coach salary permitted to be outside the cap. She previously worked with Hardwick at Richmond during her reign as a 3-time premiership coach. So the issue here is that the clubs are going, well, we know you're paying Dimmer an absolute shitload, and you're probably paying him to the soft cap as well. Is your partner also getting paid a stupid amount? And then you're collecting some of that as well on the side? Like, how are you getting paid so much above and beyond? Is this a loophole that you've created to get some more money in the household?
So can you define the soft cap? Is the soft cap for anything other than players and coaches?
Yes.
So anything from
department
reception,
spending, all department,
marketing,
all admin stuff that keeps your club running, that's a soft cap.
Okay.
And you can dip in the soft cap if you very much need to. Like, you
Okay.
overspend it, but there's obviously limits on how much you can pay your senior coach. You can't pay your senior coach more than 20% of that soft cap.
Yeah.
So it's up to them how they spend that money, and they'll spend it wisely. Or unless you're just the most qualified person on the Gold Coast for the job.
Well, I'd say this. I think that it probably doesn't rate as highly on my radar as the Chris Scott thing.
It doesn't.
Because if Damien Hardwick was announced that he's the, manager of the, Burley whatever.
Yeah.
He's opened up a Zambrero.
If he says,
okay, well, has he?
If you say Damien Hardwick is now the manager of Movie World, you go, well, okay, I can't see him there. He's working the slides of Wet and Wild.
Yeah.
I say, well, I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
No, at all.
So this, I think, is a little bit different.
Yeah, but they're getting crafty, clubs. I mean, this works for him. He won, back-to-back flags or 3-peat with her working at the club with him. So it just works. He's gone back to what works with him. And she's the best candidate, and she's on a salary of $400,000. So be it for her role. That's it. Tell you who is rogue. A club that I just cannot keep up with at the moment, and they might have the most rogue president in the AFL. Brad Green. Just self-inflicted pain and opening a can of worms that didn't need to be opened in February, it was last week when he did it. So open training on Friday at Melbourne. He's obviously going there. He goes, guys, we've got the Demon Head Guernsey. Yeah, I'm going to come down and throw the weight around. I'm the president here. He gets asked about Pickett and him potentially maybe moving back to Perth, as we've heard the news all throughout the off-season. He says that if the Cozzy rumours are true and it comes to fruition, then the fans and the members need to know that everything's going to be fine. We're good. Don't need to stress. He's got 3 years to go on his contract. If a trade request does come through, we're going to get a bunch of picks, first-round picks. He says, so we either keep him because we love him and want him to stay at the club, or we'll go to Freo West Coast and ask for 3 first-round picks in return. Now, I don't know why you'd put a price on a player's head, specifically 3 first-round draft picks for Cozzy Pickett, who's a great player, but 3 first-round. Luka didn't get, Lakers for Luka, they didn't give that up for him. They got 1. Cozzy Pickett, 3 first-round picks.
Who's even got that, do you think?
No one would have that.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Suns or like one of these Charlie Horsewater clubs that have academy picks and they use them. But so the only player in the league that might be worth first 3 first-round draft picks would be Harley Reid. If a club is really invested in going, you know what, this guy's a generational talent, let's just fuck our future up for it. Let's get him in. Maybe. But anyone else? No. No one else would be worth that.
So,
at all.
are you saying, sorry, they would entertain as many draft picks as West Coast have got and Harley Reid? Or Cosy
No,
Pickett?
I'm saying no one's worth 3 first rounders.
exactly.
No, so Freo West Coast aren't going to give him that
Yeah.
at all. But for Brad Green to come out and even do that was
Yeah.
just wild.
Early on, too, in the
Just
year.
back your
It's
culture
like,
in.
okay, great.
It's like, yeah, we want to keep him, but also if we're shopping him, I'll only take 3 first round draft picks.
It's a real sort of hand on one side.
Literally.
Of the mouth going, but
So from that, I took that he's definitely leaving, Cozzy, and it'll
Oh,
end up being
yeah.
2 first round picks
Yeah.
or a first round pick this year in the future,
yeah.
in the next year. It's just wild. If my president started putting prices on like your head as a player, I'd be going, oh, hey, get me out of here. This is what I need.
I know the football clubs are completely different to other industries. I know that. It's unique. But, like, could you imagine it? It's like me coming into work being like, no, we really like Ollie. But
Yeah.
just letting you know.
But if SEN came with,
Yeah.
an HR person, a receptionist,
Yeah.
and a future first round pick
And a
in
future
the,
intern.
in the staff, yeah,
Then we
maybe
can absolutely
we'll
have that
entertain it.
conversation.
But we love him.
Yeah.
We do love him.
Like, imagine that. I wouldn't be able to look him in the eye.
It's wild.
It's bizarre.
It's wild. Cosy Pickett's good, but he's not not this like a player worth that much at all.
Well, he's always beating people up on
Well, he's
the-
always suspended for at least 6 games a year, so you're not getting the full season out of him. I can't keep up with him. And then a day later, Simon Goodwin comes out and said they need to show Track and Clary more love last year. Here's what he said.
And Clayton Oliver look like they are truly committed this year in body and spirit.
Yeah, and that's a great observation. I think anyone that comes out to our training or comes into our facility can see the engagement that both Christian and Clayton have. And, we speak about love and that being a part of that. We needed to show more love as a footy club towards, and that's what hurts most.
Okay. So he's now saying, as we went on to say, that we're using the word love around the club more. We're telling each other that we love each other so much. Now, not a whole lot of love was shown last year when they sent Track out with a lacerated spleen and when they tried to trade Clary out of the club. But now they do love each other.
But that's love.
That is.
Daniel.
Love
Like,
is hard.
it's hard
Love
work.
is hard. And if history is anything to go by, they'll hate each other's guts by the end of round 2.
Yeah.
Everyone will want out again. So it's just interesting. Clary and Track did look good though, as we said yesterday.
Do you reckon, is it a bit of sort of Ted Lasso, with the believe on the wall?
Love.
Is it just like everywhere you turn at Casey,
love
it's just
each
a
other.
love.
That's the
Love.
motto going into the season, just love each other.
Yeah.
No matter how bad the things are. Who knows? They might be getting Luke Jackson as well. I saw that. Mitch Cleary with the scoop again. This guy's scooping everything. He said, Victorian clubs headlined by Melbourne exploring the possibility of pursuing a trade for Fremantle ruckman Luke Jackson. 3 years after he returned home to WA, the 23-year-old is contracted with Freo until 2029 after signing an initial 7-year deal and has consistently told the Dockers he loves the club and living
Oh, totally.
in the West. Jackson's new partner, former Australian netballer Kelsey Brown, hails from Victoria. Melbourne's believed to be the front runner for Jackson, with Gawn turning 34 in December. If this is true, then Melbourne, when he was here, should have just got him a girlfriend.
It's not that hard.
Just get him a girlfriend. He's happy. So he's coming back, apparently. I know it's early to say that, but why would Mitch run with that so early if there was nothing to it?
It's just...
Was homesick, now he's lovesick. Wants to come back. That's one of the all-time, just going back to real. Who did that? Brad Hill.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think that, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Just really coming back.
Sort of instead of family reasons, it's girlfriend reasons.
Wild. I mean, it is March and it's way too early to be buying into it. But if Freo do want Cosy Pickett, then you might have a straight swap on your hands.
It's true. It
Yeah.
was such a song and dance when he left.
Yeah, it was
Like,
huge.
It was huge.
Now he's back, apparently. Back to Melbourne. Bizarre.
reckon-
23-year-old.
It'd be interesting if he didn't go to Melbourne, but went to another club.
I think he would go to me. He was very much dapping him up before the game yesterday.
Really?
It was like a fucking see in 12 months dap.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. That's what, if you're, say it's Freo in this case, and the fan, the player's been spoke about maybe going back to another club, you'd want to watch the pre-game dap-ups with
Yeah.
teams. If it's too much, that's concerning for
Dap
me.
watch.
If there's maybe a handshake I can do, but if there's a full dap,
Yeah.
like, as we do, and
Yeah,
a hug,
link and a sort of...
that's like a
Oh.
lot of that goes on in the league.
Yeah.
A lot of posts after the game, siren go, shaking hands, I'll see you next year. Yeah, you will.
You will.
Like,
You
that
definitely will.
That's a real thing that happens.
Yeah, right. A lot of hands over the mouth.
Yeah. Well, they do in the NBA.
Yeah.
So watch this space. Just so much shit is happening before we've even bounced the ball.
Yeah.
Like, we've got so many stories to unfold here, storylines within clubs, within players, gossip. We'll probably see a President's Hog again at some point.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
A lot is happening. I did see just briefly in the NRL switch codes here, which we never really do, but
No.
the Vegas thing looks very cool.
Interesting, right?
I mean, they're in Vegas. We're going to Flood Watch. Like,
Yeah.
looks very cool. I saw something on X where someone said they spoke to a beer salesman, and the beer salesman said, I've sold more beer here in the first hour than I have for a full Raiders game in the NFL.
Wow.
It looks very cool. Wish we were in Vegas.
Yeah, we look a bit silly right now.
Yeah. So it was very good.
I wonder, what do they drink during an NFL game? I would have assumed that there'd be lots of beer
They
being
cut you
sold.
off at 3/4 time.
3/4 time. Yeah.
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 Third period.
Yeah.
Will they have periods?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But you cut off for the last.
Yeah, right.
So
Well, they wouldn't have been able to do that for the NRL fans. No way.
No, it would have been absolute uproar.
Yeah.
Uproar. Jeez, that would have gone hard. See them, they were fighting each other as well or something.
Well.
The players. Then that was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Always going to happen. But big week coming up. Huge week. We're back in your ears on Wednesday with our first season. I think someone just either died out there or fell over.
The Cyclone, Alfred.
Yeah. But we're back on Wednesday with our season, first round preview.
Yeah, how good's
To the end of
that?
the season. So I'm pumped. I'm so happy footy's back. I'm sure we all are.
And who knows? Will we have a third
We might not.
episode? We might not because
We might not
have a game.
We're not, but we'll be back Thursday in your ears. Look after each other. You just stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Can you promise me that?
Well,
Who's in your radar next? 3AW? Is Jackie Felgate? You know what Jackie Felgate now?
no, we're on good terms.
Yeah,
I
we
might
are.
start doing the rounds for SEN, because now there's a SEN Tassie, there's SA.
Yeah.
Really fire the line at Jared Walsh and Bart Bickley. Who
Okay,
knows?
no more enemies. No more. But we'll see you on Wednesday. Take care of each other. Fucking hell.
What a way to finish.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.